We will be kicking off soon, everyone. Very excited about what we are going to be showing you today. So, thank you all for your patience.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yo, I got you, man.
Excellent. I was just having some connectivity issues. So yeah, I think we're just letting a couple people roll through. Maybe you just want to set some context and lay the scene for today and what we're going to be talking about, and then yeah, we'll jump in. But maybe we'll give a few more minutes for people to roll in if you want to just kick us off.
Yep. I will wait to do the full intro, but yeah, very much a product focused AMA. We'll get into a bit more detail shortly, but yeah, stay tuned.
All right, so we I think should probably get kicked off. We're like 6 minutes past now, Nodge. There's 63 people here in the audience. I think we've got R2 up here as well, who's going to be taking some notes in the background and pushing an official update to everyone that couldn't make it to this AMA and walkthrough. We've got John here. Obviously, everyone is aware of who he is, and we've got a special guest with us on the stage, Amplus Max or Dave, who is some of the mastermind behind the product and the game, and be giving everybody a bit of a deep dive into different win mechanics and different elements of the game. And then later on, we can touch on the waitlist, the game launch, how you get in, and what the next kind of week and few weeks look like beyond. Plus, I hear Nodge might be dropping some alpha. So um, maybe nothing major, maybe something. Nodge, I'll pass to you.
GM. We are ready to kick this one off. So, as Brad mentioned, we have Mr. Amplus Max with us, also known as David. And David is our head of product, who works really closely with our other co-founder, Oxlo, on the product and tech side. And we also have, if I can see correctly, our CTO, KBX, in the house as well, which it might be worth bringing KBX on stage. Any of the homies. I'll just bring him on here. Yeah, so the guys have put in a lot of work, and we are excited to run through the different facets of the game. We are happy to run through any questions you have. This is a good forum to ask detailed questions. So feel, we're very comfortable and we're ready to get into the details for you. There is a degree of the game that you just have to get into first, and then once you're in, then you have more context and you probably be able to ask better questions. But just to start with, we're here for you. So we're going to be running through what it looks like for a player to actually play the Wallet Wars game. So this is not the type of AMA or the type of forum where we're just going to be like shilling or sort of promoting too hard. It's very much a content-based and very much a product-based presentation for our Raw Pass holders, which is why we're running it in Discord and not on Twitter. And we are very excited to bring this to you. So, and there won't be too much alpha. Just want to do that this time round. However, I think I'm being a little cheeky today. Next week, before the game launches, there will be a raw update 3.0. It's not going to be the longest raw update, but I think it'll be the most impactful one we've had yet. So get ready for that. All right. Without further ado, I am going to throw over to David, who, Davey boy, if you want to maybe do a bit of an intro about yourself, and then start rolling through game overview, and then Brad, you can pick some questions for the AMA. And happy to stay on here, as long as it takes. Get through any of the questions, as long as they are high quality questions and providing value, and we're not repeating ourselves. So let's go.
Yeah, for sure. Before you pass over to Dave, I'm super excited to hear from you, Dave. I think what we'll do is we'll get through the entire agenda, and then we'll basically call everyone up to the stage that has any questions to raise their hands, and we'll bring them up and work through them just to make sure everyone gets a chance. So yeah, away over to you, Dave.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me, everyone, and nice to meet you if I haven't met you before. As the guys have said, my name's Dave, and I'm really passionate about the ways that blockchain technologies can, I guess, give people value from their assets fundamentally. I've spent most of my career building fintech products at various corporate and startup companies, and spent the last 5 years at a company called DigitalX here in Australia, working on various blockchain and asset tokenization applications. But the thing that excites me most about the GameFi space is I really think this industry is the canary down the coal mine, if you like, for real world tokenized assets. To have digitally native assets, whether that's a sword or a shield or a spaceship or some in-game currency, I think that's going to set the precedent for the way that we see blockchain adoption more broadly, the way that you can borrow and lend against those assets, trade them, own them, show them off, and financialize them. I think is super exciting. So it's been a real joy building this game with the team, and especially KBX, who we have on over the last few months. It's been a really great journey of discovery and creativity where we can, I guess, try and bring you guys some fun, right? Like in startups, a lot of people talk about solving a problem for your customer, and that is absolutely key. But beyond solving a problem, we're also here to create joy and fun through playing Wallet Wars. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen and go live on that. Drop you guys a little bit of alpha, and really the intent is I'll go through the key elements of the game, and I'll actually be sharing live screenshots of our demo and staging environment as well, to give you a hands-on feel for what that game looks like and how you can start preparing for it. But first things first.
That's exciting, baby. It was going to be dropping real screen sharing. I'm excited for this, actually. This is the first time we've done this. We've ever presented the game itself.
Yeah, first time. And, I think in a lot of ways, even though we're launching the game, you can see the countdown timer there in 7 days. Really, for me, this feels like just getting to the starting line. So what we're going to release in this first season of a pilot is just the beginning, right? And then we have a product in the open, in the hands of customers and players, you guys, our beloved users, where we can learn from your feedback, and we can iterate, and we can make it better and better. And I'm really excited to show you what's in store now, and also the various bits that we have further along the roadmap that you'll find out as we go along. So what does it mean in 7 days, 10 hours and 46 minutes? Well, right now you can join the waitlist, but when that countdown expires, you'll be entering the Wallet Wars game through the homepage, walletwars.io. That's still about a week away, but I'd encourage you before then to do 2 things. One, you guys are all Raw Pass holders, and we'll absolutely be letting you all in as soon as the game opens on day 0, and then we'll be gating people in progressively after that. So next up will probably be some community collabs, followed by people that have really actively been sharing the game through our waitlist experience and telling others about it, and then we'll open it up for the public pretty soon after. Wallet Wars is built on ZK Sync, and I think that's really exciting for a big reason. Is obviously they don't have a native token, right? And there's a heap of activity going on their chain right now in order to be able to farm that airdrop and show real, meaningful, tangible activity as a user on that chain. And so this is something that you can start doing right now. And I think, if you wait a week, it's probably not going to feel so great if you want to just start playing the game, but you don't have any ETH on ZK Sync. So right now, I'd encourage you to load up your wallet with a little bit or a lot of bit of ETH on ZK Sync. You can use their native bridge, or there's a bunch of other different DeFi services as well, like RhinoFi, Orbiter Finance, or tip for expert players, you could use both if you really want to try and maximize your ZK farming opportunities. But the key point being, you can do this now, start getting your wallet prepared. The other thing I'll really quickly touch on is our core in-game asset, these raw ships, which are your consumable access, in-game asset access to the Wallet Wars competition. We'll also be trading on various ZK Sync marketplaces like Blockframe. So getting yourself familiar with those, they're very good, even though they're not as well known as, the OpenSeas and Blurs of the world. But that as well will give you a lot of good on-chain credibility when it comes to potential ZK Sync airdrops. Anyway, without further ado, so you're in the game. This is what our title screen looks like. And so you can start playing straight away. You can, go and get the game guide, which this is, our draft version that'll be coming out on the website soon. And I'm going to go through pretty much the core of it over the next few minutes. So jumping into the game, you can think about Wallet Wars as a bit of a theme park, right? So when you come into a theme park, you've got a lot of decisions and choices to make. Do you want to go on the roller coaster? Do you want to go try and win some prizes at the skill tester, or do you want to go hang out by the pool and grab a smoothie? So I think about Wallet Wars in a similar way, where there's really three core things that you can choose to do from the get-go. You can play the core gameplay experience, which is Space Invaders, using one of your ships. You can go to a game that we call Flappy Ship as well, where you can reveal some instant prizes and have a shot at winning some really pretty significant amounts of ETH. And thirdly and finally, you can go to the last ship standing, or this mint arena. This is the way that you mint a spaceship in Wallet Wars, and we've made the whole minting experience itself a game, which I'm really excited to show you. But we'll start with number one. So in terms of the core gameplay experience, you can obviously see here I've got an inventory screen where I've already got, so you'll come in and obviously connect your wallet. I'm on the ZK Sync testnet here with a little bit of ETH and a bunch of test net ships already in my demo account that I've minted earlier. Everyone who plays Wallet Wars, regardless of if they have ETH in their wallet or not, will have access to the demo ship so that they can get a taste firsthand for that player experience. But what you really are going to want to do is mint one of these ships. And that's important for a few different reasons. So firstly, you would have all seen there's a bunch of different traits that these ships have. And I'd go so far as to say it's almost my favorite feature about Wallet Wars is the artwork for each of these ships is generatively created based on its unique set of traits that it has. So what do I mean by that? For example, movement speed. The faster a ship is, the more narrower its geometry will be in the shape of that ship. And the slower it is, vice versa. The wider and fatter and slower it'll look. And that kind of principle works its way through all of these different traits. So you can see the color of the visor as well is going to reflect the value of a different attribute as well. Where its thrusters are, for example, is another trait as well. Which means something really cool actually is you can tell all of the traits of a ship just by looking at it or seeing what its visual appearance is. So I'll go through some of these traits now. Obviously, we've got the generation. These are all Gen 0 ships, and I'll explain more about that later. Fuel capacity is the number of times per day, per 24-hour period, that you'll be able to play that ship before it has to cool down for a 24-hour period. Its number of lives is how many times you can die in the Space Invaders game before getting game over. So real edge there, if you get a ship with one life versus a ship with 4 lives, already you're at a bit of an advantage to earn some more rewards. The damage rate it does with the bullets it fires, how quickly it fires those bullets, how quickly those bullets move. So very already kind of multi-layered approach, even just to how the ship destroys these aliens. It can also do critical damage. the rate at which it moves across the screen is variable with movement speed. And then we've got a bunch of secret traits here, which I'm not going to drop alpha on at the moment. And that's part of this hidden approach that we've taken to constructing this multi-layered metagame, where these are some Easter eggs, which I'm excited for people to really try and scratch the surface of and figure out what they're doing and how they're impacting your chances of earning rewards in Wallet Wars. So which ship do we want to play with? I reckon this one's kind of well balanced. I'm going to choose this one. So you'll see this is nice and familiar, and it might also finally make sense why this game is actually called Wallet Wars. We are battling the MetaMask Fox, the Phantom Ghost, and I think the Backpack Wallet Backpack. And so this is a nice, easy start to level 1. See, I'm making a score. At some point, the mothership comes to try and destroy me. If I can get that mothership first, I get 1,000 bonus points, which is awesome. So I think, with any luck, I can defeat this level. But I'm not going to spend all day playing the game and trying to get a high score here. Because as you may have figured out, the point of Wallet Wars is actually not about the gameplay at all. So this just gives you a taste for that kind of level where I can keep going. I can keep trying to improve my high score. It gets harder and harder every time. Space Invaders get faster and faster. They buy more bullets. And by the time you get to like level 8, level 9, level 10, you're really under a lot of pressure here. It's quite good. The other fun kind of light bulb moment, and I'm not going to show it now, but I'd really encourage you just to play with a variety of different ships because they really do handle quite differently. And that informs the kind of strategy you might take to playing the Space Invaders game. Like, do you want to be the slow kind of sniper that sits in the corner and fires really powerful bullets, or do you want to be quick and agile and darting around the screen? Yeah, so enough about the gameplay. Moving on, how do you actually get a ship? So you can see here, I'll jump over to the Mint Arena, which looks like this. And these ships here are all the ships that have been minted recently in our test environment. You can see we're still working on a few things. So some stuff will be unpolished. But Mint Arena is really exciting. So firstly, you need an access code to be able to mint a ship. Now, what is an access code? This is really where the game links in with the raw passes that we've released a few, or probably 2 months ago now. So here are our raw passes all listed in OpenSea. It's a single artwork collection, but you guys are all raw pass holders, you know. The key attribute is your affiliate code right here. So whether you own a raw pass or not, every single new player to the Wallet Wars game will be required to get one of your affiliate codes in order to mint a ship. Now they can mint one ship, or they can mint, 20, 50, 100 ships at once. And when they're minted, those ships in their NFTs metadata are all stamped with the affiliate code that has been used to mint that ship. And that feeds into, I think I'll click it here. No, I've got it somewhere else. That feeds into our largest fleet game here. So for the raw pass owners whose raw pass is used to mint the most amount of ships, they'll start ranking on our largest fleet challenge here, and there'll be prizes awarded, NFTs, ETH, all part of the prize pool, exact amounts to be confirmed when the game launches. But you'll be able to see your ranking here in terms of like how many people have used your affiliate code to mint a ship in Wallet Wars. But anyway, detour aside, back to our last ship standing mint game. So actually around 15% of the value of every single ship goes into our last ship standing or PvP Mint Arena prize pool. Ships will cost 0.01 ETH each to mint. So I think Ethereum's been pretty bullish lately, but I think that's around $23 US. We'll pay a percentage commission of that to the Raw Pass owner whose code was used in the minting of that ship. And then we'll also pay 15% roundabout into this last ship standing prize pool. So you can imagine this gets particularly important as the game gets into the late stage of the season. This prize pool is going to absolutely get jacked. Now, it will probably become the biggest prize pool that you can win in Wallet Wars, I would guess. And the way that you win that prize is you need to be literally the last ship standing before our cosmic clock here, or the amount of time remaining, hits 0. But here's the catch. Every single time that a new ship is minted, 1 minute is added to the cosmic clock. So particularly in the late game, it becomes ultra important that you strategize around when you want to mint your ship, try and get it in there like right at the last second so that you have a chance at winning last ship standing. And the other thing that I'd say is the way that we'll verify the winner of last ship standing is literally by using the blockchain transaction timestamp. So there'll be canonical proof of who was the last ship standing and who's the overall winner of that prize pool. I'll move on now to the next game in our Wallet Wars theme park that we have here, and that is Flappy Ship. So we're trying to build as much value as we can into what it means to play Wallet Wars and to own a ship. And so not only will buying a ship give you access to the last ship standing game and to play the Space Invaders game and to rank on these different leaderboards, but you'll also have 5 tries or 5 goes per ship that you mint to play Flappy Ship, which is a really super fun game, a really simple game where the objective is to guess whether your ship is going to finish higher or lower than where it starts. So, well, I should have taken that spike just then and gone short, but it's pretty stable. I might just go higher. And so I lock that in and my ship's going to fly for about 20 or 30 seconds. Red line means I'm losing because I've gone long and my ship's crashing. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, come on. At the end of this...
That's brutal, man. You need a God candle. Where's the God candle?
Come on.
Oh, you won. You won.
So you see there, I've been fortunate in winning like a very small amount of F in this case, because it shot up right at the end and was just above the line. But for some players, this will be a significant amount, right? It's determines the amount that your ship finishes above or below that line, depending on the direction that you've guessed, is the amount of your prize. So I can go and I can claim that prize instantly. The other curious thing, and this interacts with my MetaMask wallet where I can claim that. The other interesting thing in terms of this game within games is the prize claim leaderboard itself will be a game. So we're going to be awarding prizes at various points for people that haven't claimed their prize and have left it in. But that's a decision that's totally up to you. So that's Flappy Ship, and I've got 2 more things to cover. So in terms of the leaderboard, and I'll try and refresh this to no, our devs are literally putting the icing on this game right now. So if various things aren't working, that's the reason why. That's okay. I can talk to it. So obviously we have the high score, and so there'll be an overall high score for the person that's got the highest amount of points within that Invaders game. And there will also be daily high scores as well, just to encourage people to really do their best every day and have a play. But in addition to that, we'll have a number of on-chain prizes as well for people that own the most number of ships, and not just a pay-to-win kind of a game as well, but also for people that collect particular traits as well. So if you have a collection of ships that cumulatively has maximized every single trait that we have, that'll give you an entry on this leaderboard to be able to win more prizes and get a chance or entries at winning various different NFTs I know we have our ordinal maxi beers in there, our pudgy penguin, a couple of mochas, and a grape as well at this stage. The last thing, and I may not be able to show it, might have to be a thing for next time. I know. No, gonna have to be a thing for next time. But the last thing I'll talk about is we have another thing coming in terms of a win mechanic called Mysterious Cosmic Phenomena. And so that'll be a secret trigger hidden within the game that will reward you instantly for finding that Easter egg or chancing upon that outcome. And so the more that you play and the more that you scratch into the nooks and crannies of Wallet Wars, the more that you'll be able to have a chance at discovering the mysterious cosmic phenomena. The final thing I'll say, you'll also be able to forge different ships together. So when we think about leaderboards like Collect to Win and Master Forger as well, which is the number of times that you've forged, gives you an entry into that competition. Forging is your way that you can upgrade different traits. So if you remember back to when I was showing you all the ships in the inventory and they have particular traits, you'll be able to upgrade those or have a chance at upgrading them by forging 2 ships that you already own together. Now, the price of a forged ship is exactly the same as that of a newly minted ship. Newly minted ships have an entirely random output in terms of the traits that you get. So it's a complete roll of the dice, whether you're going to get a fast ship, a slow ship, a powerful damage ship, or a weaker shit ship. But you'll be able to use the combined value of those traits to forge new ships together that upgrade them and increase and improve their overall performance. So yeah, that'll be something that's really exciting and really fun as well. Finally, the last thing I'll say is, yeah, we've got lots more coming and a heap of different features and ideas and things that we want to roll, not just in this season, but in future seasons as well. And so I'll save some of that for later, but just leave you by saying, like, your ships in Wallet Wars will have a big impact on the way that the game ends or the way that this season ends. And also in terms of what we have coming in store for our BZR ecosystem roadmap. So I'll leave it at that. It's been a pleasure to show you this first little sneak peek of the game, and you know the countdown's on. So see you all in Wallet Wars.
Very nice, Dave. Thanks very much for that, man. I appreciate your time. I know you and the product team and the Eng team are very, very busy. I thought that was a great demonstration. And I know that a lot of people in the comments have questions. So happy to throw over to Brad, who can start to pull some questions up. But yeah, as you can see, there's been a fair bit of work that's gone into this initial pilot of the Wallet Wars game. Lots of ways to win. And as we mentioned, we try and keep the gameplay and the interface as simple and accessible as possible, and focus as much as we can on the financial engine and the incentives behind it. And we do that in a sustainable way. So yeah, like we said, DOTP. All right, I know there's a lot of questions for the team. So Brad, I'll throw over to you and you can throw over to the audience when you're ready.
Yeah, for sure. We've had plenty of questions coming through, but I guess if anyone actually wants to come up to the stage, we'll prioritize those first. So maybe just raise your hands and we'll bring you guys up one by one. I think one last thing that I want to add as well. We've had a lot of questions around Raw Pass holders that want to get their early access guaranteed. And we also want to empower you guys to go and onboard your friends and be prepared to, you know, have them use your codes, or, you know, if your wallet that you're holding your Raw Passes in, you know, isn't ZK Sync compatible, we're going to be rolling out a process to collect some wallets from you guys. So firstly, delegation, so that you can delegate a fresh wallet that's ZK Sync compatible that you can use to play the game basically without needing to connect the wallet holding your Raw Passes. So we had a lot of people asking for that. And as part of that process, the second thing is nominations. So, you know, we really want to empower all of you to go out and share, the Wallet Wars opportunity, what you've seen today, everything and obviously your raw codes, your affiliate codes, with all of your friends. So we would love for you to be able to submit some nominations as well, so you guys can start cooking your holder sales and get people ready and prepared and wallets loaded early on to start competing in a few of those refer to earn leaderboards. And yeah, we'll be publishing an official update on that one and a process. So yeah, I also just want to say well done, Dave. That was awesome. I think I can see a lot of people in the chat that really enjoyed that. So we got special 2K up on the stage. We'll let you ask some questions and then we'll rotate through. I don't see any other hands. There's a few questions in the chat, so we can go through them one by one. But yeah, special 2K. Over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. First, Dave, awesome demo. I do demos myself for a lot of different things, and I know how difficult it can be to get these things right. So the demo gods were more or less on your side, it looked like. So so just want to say good job for that. And then thank you. Yeah, no worries, dude. And thank you, all of you guys, Darb, Naj, you guys are all awesome at always being available to us to kind of answer questions and being really transparent. So I super appreciate it as a holder. And a couple questions I had was, first and foremost, is there a reason besides the fact that obviously ZK Sync farming is going to be a thing? Was that a choice as a layer 3 to choose because of cost effectiveness, or the benefits to us as users to kind of be farming and stuff like that? What was the decision behind choosing that blockchain for doing this stuff on to start with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we thought really long and hard, and we had a lot of people contribute to the critical decision around which chain that we'd select to launch this game and these ships on. And I think there are a few principles that we used to help make the decision. One was that we want to keep it accessible to as many people as possible, and have the price of ships not be super cheap, but just still be attainable and really make it that consumable in-game asset. And so at the price point of those ships, you really can't afford big gas fees. But we looked at Arbitrum, Optimism, Solana, a few other chains. But I think ultimately with ZK Sync, that farming opportunity is really great. And I think that's something that we wanted to help give people access to. Even myself, I've been in the blockchain space for 6 years now. And I know that I should be farming ZK Sync, but I just never find the time, right? And I think if you can do it in a way where you're doing something else in your leisure time, that's just a really cool thing. And yeah, also looking at where, particularly for raw pass holders, if you think about the way that you can earn an affiliate fee for ship sales, we really wanted to capture the demand where it is currently on chain, and looking at the growth of ZK Sync and how it's performed on various DAppRadar websites that track those statistics. And you can never make the decision at the perfect time because you're always having to predict the future. But yeah, on balance, that's the reasons that we chose ZK Sync.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I myself haven't used it at all, so I'm really excited to try a new chain and, like I said, get an opportunity to be farming, because I know those airdrops can be super beneficial. So super excited for the opportunity. Do you know on chance around how much gas fees for things are, and then also on the cost of the ships? I know they're 0.1 right now. If say ETH blows up and somehow magically doubles or triples in the next whatever month or two, will you consider bringing down prices of the ships, or is it kind of a hard-coded this is the amount and however much ETH costs at that time is how much you're going to be paying for that ship?
Dave,
yeah, you go, John.
No, I was going to say I'll let you comment on the gas in more detail, but I found it interesting. I think the founder of ZK Sync, unless you were already going to say this, Dave, but the founder of ZK Sync recently posted a screenshot of ZK Sync executing the cheapest and fastest ETH-based transaction ever. So it's difficult to obviously anticipate what that's going to be, but they seem to be optimizing very much for it. And funnily enough, when we spoke to the guys at ZK Sync, they were like, oh, we want people to use the chain for the technology. We don't, the airdrop system, short-term mechanism, and they were sort of leaning into their edge at the moment. But that's just top level. So they're confident, and their founder is putting out a lot of content and information around that, as he would. But yeah, it was reassuring for us.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, to be transparent, and just to clarify, the ships are 0.01 F, and I think, yeah, we have looked at the F price particularly recently and thought, should we adjust that up or down? And I think a large segment of the target audience for this game are people that are holding F already or got their bags. So I think relatively, as part of the Ethereum they hold it, it's still a reasonable price point. That's the first thing to say. And then, yeah, secondly, in terms of transaction costs, we're pretty confident that they're going to be like just fractions, like almost insignificant fractions of the value of a raw ship. We still need to do some final testing on that because we've got the ships on the testnet, and testnet gas is not really a great indication of ZK Sync mainnet gas prices. But yeah, we've been speaking to a bunch of marketplaces and are pretty confident that the worst case scenario is it's not even going to be that bad.
Cool. No, that makes sense. Obviously, these layer threes are intended for fast transactions and low cost and stuff like that. So that's really great for us because if we're going to be doing a lot of interacting with the chain for doing a lot of the things that we're doing, then obviously cheaper is better. Last question, maybe. I mean, I really have like a million questions that can go on forever, but last question just to let other people talk to. Does this by chance use the Babylon SDK that you guys have as like your kind of like, is that what this ecosystem backend is going to be built on, or is this just like all contractual and like I honestly don't know how a lot of this stuff works in the like for these sorts of things, but I know that you guys have an SDK, so I was just curious whether or not it's being implemented into this, and if not, why not, and if not, or will it be in the future?
Yeah, that's another great question. The short answer is no, it doesn't use the Babylon SDK. But the long answer is yes, because it really feeds into the vision that we have for the Babylon wallet and the Babylon SDK. To be straight up, the reason, when I first joined Balthazar, we spent a lot of time working on the Balthazar SDK. And the reality is there's just not that many players playing blockchain games. And so we ask ourselves, why aren't more players playing blockchain games? And I think the answer is that actually crypto itself is the game. Like that is the meta game. Like right now we're all here, yes, to find out about wallet wars, but we're all deeply invested in the game of crypto and how we can like make some money basically and form actually meaningfully good relationships online and problem.
Oh no, I think you dropped.
David, where'd you go, man?
I think
go?
David.
There he is.
David
Back.
Rose.
Oh, there we go.
We're back.
Sorry, I don't know what was the last word I said, but yeah. So with that in mind, we've built the Wallet Wars game with that ethos in mind, that we want to attract players to blockchain games, but not in a traditional gaming sense that just adds blockchain. I think that one of the exciting parts about blockchain gaming is that it's a new creative space for games in general. And so we really want to build an audience and a community around that. And then we'll, build in things like Babylon Wallet, where it'll be a gateway of access to other games and other seasons and your pass throughout the ecosystem. But yeah, that's a bit longer term on the roadmap at the moment.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I know you guys obviously have a long-term vision for this because I've heard you guys on all the AMAs. I know that have been like invested upon with a ton of great, exchanges, and your like association with Anamika obviously means that they see something in what you guys are doing. So like, congratulations on everything so far. Super excited and hoping that as a general, I'll be able to play a little bit early too as well, but looking forward to when this launches, and congratulations everyone. I'll step down because I could talk forever because you guys have such awesome stuff that I have so many questions about, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Great questions.
GM. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir. Go ahead.
GM Jab, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, basically what I wanted to ask is like when are you going to get a sneak peek of the game, like how it works, like the graphics, everything. That was also what I wanted to ask.
Do you see the screen share?
The sneak peek of the game, like how the game looks like, how it's going to be, like the movements, graphics, and all that stuff like that.
Bro, were you on the call?
Wow.
I think we just went through that.
We just went through the whole game. Not the
I
whole
shared my
game,
Wow.
Dave.
screen and yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, because I just woke up and I just saw the AMA, so I just joined. So I didn't know you guys have gone through that already.
Yeah,
Brad,
we did.
is it recorded? Is the
Not
space
sure if it's recorded.
is the space
No,
recorded?
we haven't got it recorded, but yeah,
Brother, you're
that
too
was
late. You gotta be on time.
yeah,
You gotta be
yeah.
on time. The early bird gets the
So
worm.
this is the holder exclusive. So we'll have some content coming, some gameplay stuff coming, and obviously the game's coming very soon. But yeah, that was a very first look, very exclusive to just Raw Pass holders. So unfortunately, brother, you were too late. But thanks
No
for
problem.
coming up.
No problem.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me up.
All right, guys. So we've got a bunch of other questions that have come in the chat. Something interesting as well. A lot of people starting to formulate their Raw Pass affiliate code usage and how they might incentivize their audience. Nodge, I would love for you to fire the holders up and light a fire and get them ready to go and sell ships in the game and maximize their earnings. Maybe a few words from you around the Raw Pass affiliate codes.
Man, absolutely. This is something that this is one of the most exciting elements of this first season of Wallet Wars, and I'm very pleased, and as a team, we are very pleased to be able to offer this model where we don't make any money without you guys, right? So, like I've reiterated a few times, but just want to make sure that everyone here hears it. Every ship that is minted and forged must use an affiliate code. What that means is the power is in your hands. It is your responsibility to make money for yourself using your Raw Pass code. And what that also means is you can empower your community to access these earning opportunities and be part of the ecosystem and benefit from benefiting your community. Oxlo used to say this a lot in the pre-mint days. It's about you empowering your community. So now is the time, right? The game launches on the 15th of December. We know that. So it's time for you guys to get really, really loud on Twitter, on Discord, in your WhatsApp groups, and start telling people, guys, the Wallet Wars game is coming. It's going to be playable for everyone. And the hook that we've already given you, there's already 100K in the prize pool, roughly 100K. It might be a little bit under, but it's close. It's going to be close to it now. I haven't checked today, but on top of that, there are blue chip NFTs worth like over $20,000. On top of that, the ZK Sync Farm. There are other things we're going to be releasing next week as well. Sell that to your communities. Bring them in and offer them those opportunities. Sharing is caring. Empower your community and be a leader. This is your opportunity to actually be a leader. You can step up and say, hey guys, I'm bringing you this opportunity first. Use my code, build your faction, step forward, and don't be afraid to take responsibility, to take part in the governance, to really, really care about the future of the Wallet Wars game. There are so many ways to build your presence as a leader and to build your revenue stream with your Raw Pass, but it's in your hands. So things you can do, right? You can create WhatsApp groups. You can create faction alliances, right? So you can share revenue with other Raw Pass holders. For example, some of the larger holders might want to build armies around them, right? Where you might not get as much visibility or you might not have as much of a community, but get creative, right? Work with each other. You can share some of the revenue back with the people that buy the ships. You might want to give them, 5% out of your percent, right? Whatever it might be, right? You might want to give them 50% of your percent, right? But give that back to the pass holders. Because at the end of the day, you have the opportunity to control how much you make within the game. And that is an opportunity that a lot of other crypto games haven't given you. And it's part of the model that's sustainable. So there's so many things you can do. Use the prizes. There's refer to earn leaderboards. Use the leaderboards as a hook. Like, show them what you can win. There's just so many ways to win. It's super duper exciting. And think about what it means to have governance and to have control over the treasury. You can control features that are built in the Wallet Wars ecosystem. That's how we've designed it. This is a pilot game. This is the first version. If I show you guys what we've got geared up for season 2, you would froth. There is so much coming, but it's up to you to really blow this up. The bigger the prize pool, the more money you guys make. Because like I said, we don't make money if you guys don't make money. And if you guys are making money, then your communities are making money. So don't be afraid to be aggressive. One of the principles about this DAO is aggressive commitment. Band together with your communities in WhatsApp. Set up WhatsApp groups. Figure out tactics. Play the games together. Assign ships to your friends, to your communities. It could be Discord. It could be WhatsApp. There's going to be instant win opportunities for people that just want the small wins. Bring them in. Let them play for those instant wins. Let them play the Flappy Coaster. Let them play for the daily prizes. And if you want to go for the big wins, the last ship standing prize pool, could be $600,000-$700,000 if things go well. Could be bigger, right? Go for the big ones if you want to go for the big ones. Stack your ships, but ultimately it's on you, right? We can't control how you market to your community. So I just want to reiterate that the power is in your hands. I'm releasing a video soon on what you can do, so that'll be coming very soon. But like I said, it's up to you guys to empower your community to double down and maximize your earnings and the earnings of your communities. So yeah, the time is now. Game launches 15th of December. So stay tuned for some more announcements next week. Like I said, I think it's going to be the biggest one yet. But take responsibility and step forward as a leader in the crypto space. If you have a Raw Pass, you are now a leader in the Web3 gaming space. You are part of a community that is pioneering sustainable gaming and the new era of financialization in crypto gaming. So it's on you guys right now, right? We've built it. We need you guys to help us build this up, right? We are going to turn on the marketing engine, and you guys are going to be there and receive all of the juice. So be visible. Jump on the piggyback of the Wallet Wars beast, and maximize it. It's in your hands. Let's go, guys. Roy at Niage.
Nice, Naj. Nice. Lots of interesting strategy chat going on in the channel. I think we don't really have any more hands, but there's been a few questions. I don't know how much you can or want to talk about this, or maybe you wanted to kind of leave it for Raw Update 3, but there's a lot of questions coming through around the use of BZR points and questions around the BZR token. So I'm not sure if you want to touch on that, but there's a lot of audience members that are very interested to hear a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you probably know the answer to that one. But the BZR token is coming sooner than most people probably think. And I'll just leave it there for now. Just know that by holding a Raw Pass, you have premium access to the ecosystem, and you're setting yourself up for success. And the BZR token, when that's released, will give you guys the opportunity to hold a token, a deflationary token that many of the largest VCs in the crypto space hold, right? So yeah, there's an opportunity there as well, and we'll be releasing more information about that pretty soon. So stay tuned. I can't give too much more information about that, but there is just so much that you can do within the Wallet Wars ecosystem, and we're just going to keep stacking more and more and more. And season 2 is just going to be even better, and season 3 will be better, and the future games will be better. And you guys should feel proud for having conviction and reading between the lines, and believing in a project that is going to change what financialization looks like in gaming. So yeah, so with the BZR token coming soon, get ready for it. If you have a Raw Pass, you're very well positioned. Let's go, guys.
Very, very good. I know that was a tough question for me to ask, knowing the answer, but got to give the people what they want. Trying to go through and see some more questions. Okay, the supply of the in-game Raw ships. Do we want to talk a little bit about how the minting will work for Raw ships? There's some questions around primary sales and secondary sales for Raw ships. what the importance of a primary raw ship is and why you want to buy it through the platform possibly and not through secondaries, or maybe touch a little bit on the raw ship side of things. Maybe Dave, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, minting and forged ships both cost the same amount. Yes, you can sell ships on the secondaries, and that'll be pretty cool because you can snipe ships with certain traits that you're looking for. Maybe if you're playing like the collect to win game. But also importantly, any ships that you buy on the secondaries don't come with entries into Flappy Ship. And so that really bakes in an incentive to mint on the primary. We don't want to see, I think there'll be games on the secondaries around these ships, but I think really the way to view them is more of a consumable in-game asset. And really those ZK Sync NFT marketplaces are just a kind of extension of the Wallet Wars game in some ways. So yeah, just to reiterate, they will be tradable on the secondaries. However, only primary minted and forged ships will come with Flappy Bird entries and will be eligible for last ship standing.
Nice. Thank you, Dave. Just going to keep reading through this, but whilst they do that, John or Dave, I don't know if you guys want to drop any more information or anything else that we kind of haven't gone through yet, whilst they just go through and try to find a few more questions. Otherwise, anyone else feel free to raise a hand, or we'll probably wrap this out in the next kind of 5 minutes or so. Get back to delivering the game. Let's fucking go. Right.
I mean, is there anyone that wants to come on stage? Happy to bring anyone else on stage. I think we've gone through quite a bit of the gameplay. There's a lot of depth, and we'll be releasing a game guide after this as well, so you guys will be able to read through things. I know there's been a bit of feedback around transparency, but just be a little patient. We've just got to drop things at the right time when they're ready and sequence the information correctly, just so it makes sense. We have a principle here, and it's actually a principle that is critical to understand when you're selling your affiliate code to your audience and your communities. It doesn't matter how many people hear you. It matters how many people understand you. So one of the critical and key selling propositions for you guys is going to be how well people understand the value proposition of Wallet Wars for them. Right? I think that's going to be a really important thing, and we're going to release as much information to empower you guys in doing that. And you know, we're always happy to support. The team's always on Discord. You know, hit the DMs, or we'll be we'll be as active as we can be. But yeah, it's about how many people understand the value.
Yeah, really good stuff, John. Okay, there's a few other questions that I think are pretty good in here. We got one from Dev, who's got a nice grape NFT. We'll be giving one of those away in our prize pool as well. What is the motivation for new members who don't have a raw pass to mint the ship apart from just playing the game? How big, if any, will the prize pool be for them? And basically, they just enjoy to win without being into the referral game. Now, I can take this question, or happy for you to take it, John.
I just want to say, stay tuned for an announcement next week. But Brad, you can get into the rest of it.
Yeah, sure. Interesting. I think that there's a lot of motivations. You don't need a raw pass in order to participate in any of the prize pool except the raw pass specific ones with regards to code usage. Everything else you'll effectively need to buy a raw ship in order to play and win within the game. So I think there's a lot of motivation there with regards to ZK Sync farming, winning prizes. Obviously, every ship that's purchased gets, Flappy Ship entries and will get, instant wins, or they may get instant wins depending on, the directional choices they take in Flappy Ship. And then obviously they can play the game itself and all of the other meta games and crypto games that are inside of the game. So I hope that answers that question. And then the other question from AdWord Kasana, which is kind of secondary to that, I feel, will all codes be the same when someone buys a ships? So I think what that means is, will the affiliate code or the amount of letters in the affiliate code impact the traits of the ship? And the answer to that question is no. all ships will be randomly generated, and the affiliate code used will not impact the traits of that ship. Just try and see if there's any more questions. Otherwise, we can probably wrap it out, guys.
Yeah, I think just reiterating, like, we are going to be writing a guide on how to bridge, how to get your ETH over to ZK Sync. You'll find that minting and forging on ZK Sync is really fast and cheap. And I think as much as it was a marketing decision, it was also a functional decision. So the stars really aligned for us. We can allow you guys to farm and also do it really cheaply. So claiming will be cheap, spinning the wheels will be cheap, playing Space Invaders will be cheap. So yeah, I think it'll be cheap across the board.
Awesome. Okay, with that being said, if no one on the stage has anything else to add, I know Prince of War or Abby just jumped up here. He's been a bit silent. See R2E2 is there as well, Silent Assassin. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add, Nodge or Dave. Otherwise, we can wrap it out. And yeah, just thanks to everyone for coming. We hope that this, answered a lot of questions that we've been seeing in the chat, gave a lot of transparency. A lot of you got, to see inside the game itself, see it, touch it, feel it before anyone else. And, ultimately we want to reward, our loyal holders and make sure that, you guys you felt loved, because obviously, Raw Pass holders are the genesis in this ecosystem. So yeah, very excited for that.
Oh, sorry, Brad. Sorry, man. I just wanted to add one other thing. I'm just seeing a lot of questions and discussion around the single and double digits. As when it comes to the actual gameplay, all the affiliate codes are the same, right? For the game and the affiliate percentages, especially for season 1, they're all the same. As you know, the affiliate codes give you a significant booster on the leaderboard if you have lower digits, and there will be other future uses for the low digits. But in terms of the affiliate revenue and incentive to mint from a lower code, it's all the same in terms of the revenue that you'll be earning. So I just wanted to make that one clear. But that doesn't mean that the lower affiliate codes aren't a premium access asset within the Balthazar ecosystem, right? I just wanted to be very clear about that.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks, John. I know we just had Naive jump up on the stage, so probably take one more question and then we can round it out there.
Hello.
Hey, welcome.
Thanks to the team for doing a great job in hosting it first. I just want to ask that what if I don't have time to play game? How can I farm it? I've heard about renting ship stuff, but I don't really get it. So can you explain the detail for me? Please. Thank you.
Are you talking about how else can you play the game if you don't have time to play the game? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So the only game that really requires a lot of time is the main Space Invaders style high score game. Every other game just requires good timing and just strategy. So if you want to maximize your earnings from the high score game, I would delegate ships. We don't have an in-game delegation system built, but you sort of just figure out a way to do that, and then other people can play with your ships if that's something you want to do. But for a large ship standing, for Flappy Coaster, for even for Cosmic Phenomena, the referral leaderboards, all that sort of stuff, it doesn't really require like a grind. It's just more strategic, right?
I get it now. Thank you for answering my question. And keep it up.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, guys. With all of that being said, I think we can probably wrap it out here. Thank you, everyone that asked great questions. thank you, Dave, for coming and giving such a great presentation, getting some really great feedback from all of the holders. So thank you so much. It was amazing to hear a fresh voice. And you gave a really clear, detailed, concise overview of the game and what's to come. So, yeah, I guess, anyone else that wasn't here or came in late will be putting out a bit of a summary of what we went through. And then, something to look forward will be Raw Update 3.0. So, John, unless you have anything further to say, Roy and Niyaj, and all the best
I was just
to
going to say,
everybody that decided to play.
spin that track, bro. Do you have the track lined up? Maybe not. Maybe I'm speaking too soon.
Always.
Let's go.
Thanks, everyone.
Having some technical difficulties at the moment.
No worries. I can help you stall, Mr. Darb. Nice to see everyone. First time I contribute to the space. All I want to say is Mr. R2E2 is a bozo, and get ready for game launch. If you want to have the best strategies, just do the opposite of what R2E2 tells you to do, and you should be able to rank quite highly in the Wallet Wars leaderboard. So that would be my advice. And as Naj says, no simping in the comments, no simping for feet picks, just simping for raw chips is okay. With that being said, Darb, are you ready, or do you need me to stall even longer?
I'm having some serious technical difficulties over here, if you guys can't hear that.
Can someone sing it? Abby, do you want to sing it with me?
It's just like the real thing.
Facing some serious difficulties with the audio file on my end. So, okay.
Thanks, everyone. Catch you later.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.